Alright, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about my personal opinion on who I think are the top 5 gods of each class. So warrior, guardian, assassin, hunter, and mage. That means that we're going to be going over 25 gods in the S tier, basically. We're going to go over stats. Keep in mind that the tier list is not going to really account for like newer players. When you're starting up the game for the first time, tier lists don't even matter. You can pretty much play anything and get away with it. It's only like the intermediate to advanced level where, okay, these gods are kind of annoying. They're kind of good. They have good team fight. They're not going to weigh your team down. I think team comp overall is like much better than just picking like the S tier gods and going with it. Because if you have like 2 tanks, a mage, a hunter, and a warrior, that is the most devastating comp ever. And it's so hard to play against. Especially if it's like a 3-stack on the enemy team or a 4-stack and you're like solo, you're playing solo, you know, you're not gonna win. And tons of CC, like they're playing Cupid, safe mage like SCYLLA, Athena and Xingtian, or Athena and Cerberus, or Athena and Ares, you know, constantly taunting you, getting your beads, and then Ares just ulting you off when your beads are off cooldown every time. You know, it's not going to be easy to win against that. So I think team comp is more important than just picking S tier picks. But these S tier picks are just annoying picks that are really strong in the meta for a reason, okay? So just keep that in mind. Tier list is not there to like demotivate you to play other characters, and not to say they're not viable. Obviously tier lists are opinionated, so do keep that in mind, and they're subject to change. Sometimes I'll change my mind and change someone from like S tier to A tier and vice versa. Like I've actually like put some time into this tier list, you know, thought about it for a day. So I think it's a little bit better than most tier lists that are just put together like really fast. Anyway, we're gonna jump straight into the tier list now, and I'm gonna explain everyone as quickly as possible for you guys. So starting with Odin, he can counter all the healers, people with no escapes. He's good against people like Artemis, ANUBIS, etc. He can spam shields infinitely. He can spam his ult a lot. He's almost unkillable if you play him right, so that's why I have him up there. Wukong is just really safe. He has a get out of jail card, has good poke, has good CC. Gilgamesh has one of the best ults in the game, has really good CC. Guan Yu, tons of damage. He's unpeelable with his ultimate. King Arthur is just insane. He can like 2v1 people. He has good DPS. He's just an overall like good warrior pick, I guess. He's annoying to deal with. He does have one of the lowest win rates in the game, but that doesn't stop him from fragging out, getting 20 kills per game if you're good enough on him. Now into the guardian category, we have Ares, who just hits extremely hard, has the best guardian ult in the game probably for arena. Pulls people in, works amazing with mystical mail. You should always build mystical mail on him. It probably do around 300 damage while his chains are on you for the full duration, and he's got it all except for an escape. So then you have KHEPRI. He has a revive. His ultimate is insane. He has all these guardians have like crazy good ultimates or crazy good kit, right? So KHEPRI has a revive, a pull, a root. He has so much CC, an amazing ult. He has the highest win rate in the game in arena out of all the gods in the game. So yeah, Cerberus does insanely high damage. He can pull people in with his ultimate. He can almost kill someone with his entire skill rotation just by building tanky. Xingtian does the same thing. He pulls people in, does a lot of damage. He has a root and a pull. Really hard to deal with. If you pair him with Athena, for example, he can CC people, get their beads. He's a good pair with Athena or like a Cerberus or Ares. And then you have Athena, which does a lot of damage, and the taunt. Guys, if you're playing it with a coordinated team, or people who can abuse the fact that you're taunting, you know, if people's beads are down and you catch them with a taunt or blink taunt, you should always get blink on Athena. Her ultimate's not the best in arena, but her taunt is just so strong. It's hard not to put her in the top 5. The only reason Ganesha didn't make it into the top 5 is because he's not always as good. He's not good against everyone. He's not good against hunters, really. You can just body block them. He's not good against quick cast gods, but he does have really good CC. That silence is really annoying against some people. Like, you can shut down Guan Yu and FENRIR. I guess you could put him on like, if you want to, you know, in your head, if you want to put him in top 5, that works. Just because he's not in top 5 doesn't mean he's not one of the best guardians in the game. Super fun, does a lot of damage, his ult's really fun. Now mages was really hard for me because you know, I'm not 100% sure about this top 5 on mages, but I think these are the mages that are like best paired with like any team comp. They work with like almost any team comp, and they can just like frag out. So ANUBIS is up there because you can just 2-shot anyone in the game. Sacrificial Shroud was an item that worked so well with him. It kind of indirectly buffed him. Spear of Magus got lifesteal on it, that's an indirect buff to him. Typhon's Fang is amazing on him. Vampiric Shroud gives him some health and defenses early game, so you can't be killed as fast. And also, you can just go straight into Bankrupts now. You don't have to go into boots anymore, so that's even better. He has a better early game. Hera's ult is ridiculously overpowered. Polymorph is so easy to hit. All her abilities are so easy to land. So easy to do free damage on her. Her shield's insane. Her ult's insane. I think she's one of the best mages in the game for sure. The only bad thing about ANUBIS and Hera is that they don't have an escape. Discordia is just overall amazing. It has CC and escape, high damage, gives your team free power. She has a great ult, and her abilities are also pretty easy to land. Baron, another one with no escape, another mage with no escape. It doesn't matter because he's super tanky. You can build him hybrid. You can build him with Soul Gem, a really good item on him. You can also build him with Tyrant start. Tyrant's and Soul Gem, a lot of passive health, a lot of defenses, a lot of extra power and healing. He has a great ult for team fights and a good amount of damage in his kit. Lastly, we have Persephone, one of the best team fight ults in the game. Again, really good at rooting people, doing damage from far, and has a good escape. Alright, assassins are decent in arena, not the best, but there are some pretty good assassins. DAJI is like a mini Ares ult. Her ult is really broken in arena. She can two-shot people by teleporting to them, really hard to counter, does way too much damage. Loki does a lot of damage. He's annoying to deal with. If you know how to play him right, in the right team comp, you can wreak havoc. Bastet, again, leaps in, does half your HP with Pounce and her 2, leaps out, and you're already like 40% health. She's really annoying, hard to deal with, high win rate, really good escape. Yeah, you can punish her escape, but realistically she can jump in with her beads, or she can just blink in and then jump away. You know, it's not always easy to punish her. TSUKUYOMI, if I said that right. High damage, a lot of movement speed on his... He doesn't really have an escape, but he has a lot of movement speed. His ult is really OP. The only bad thing about him is that he doesn't have an escape, and it doesn't matter because he has so much movement speed on his stun, it's pretty much an escape. He has a slow too, and he can also just slow people down if they're on him. So SUSANO is the last spot. The reason FENRIR didn't get up there is because he can be punished really hard. Every Guardian in the game can pretty much punish him if you know how to. Ganesh can silence his 3. Gep can cleanse his ultimate. Bacchus can time his 3 right, I guess, on him, but not as great as just Athena taunting him. And you could pull him on KHEPRI, or just revive someone that's getting brutalized by him. Ares and Artio pretty much just counter him too, by not letting him use any of his abilities. And yeah, you can build him with a lot of... You can build FENRIR like super tanky now with hybrid items, which is the only reason he's doing so well right now. But yeah, that's why I put Susan up there instead of him. Okay, Hunters. Cupid has a stun, has an amazing ult, has an amazing escape. Danzo, same thing. CERN is tied with Xbalanque as like the highest hitting hunter in the game, with his Autumn Stance and Summer Heat like stacked. And he also has a large AoE like Cupid. IZANAMI, great ult if you can land it. You can't body block her, which is a plus, and she has an invis. Xbalanque, great ult for team fights. He has a great escape too, which combos off his ult. And he also has one of the hardest hitting autos in the game. Okay, so Hu Yi has a good ult, but it doesn't slow unless you have the 2 on someone. It's hard to ricochet in arena. Chiron doesn't hit as hard as the other hunters, but he's a good ability-based hunter. Rama's early game is not that great, so that's why he's not in the top 5. But his late game is very scary, probably stronger than most of the top 5. I think Thanatos can be in S tier if you really want to put him there. If you play him, if you know how to play him right. He's not as safe as like most of the other assassins up there, but he's really good. Same with Poseidon, you can probably put him in S tier, and Morgan. Poseidon doesn't have an escape, but he has Whirlpool. He's speedy. He's kind of predictable, and you can Aegis his moveset, but yeah. Anyone in A tier is a really solid pick. Anyone in B tier, there's just better people. Like, there's no point of picking people in the B tier if there's better picks in A tier and S tier. They're kind of just weighing down your team sometimes. Not that you can't frag on them, and they're not viable, but yeah. People in the not ideal list, like Yorman. When I see Yorman or Yamojo on my team, I know it's going to be a bad game, like 50% of the time at least, right? The concept of peeling is like getting people off your teammates, and those Guardians aren't that good at it. Fafnir has a stun. It takes a while to transform though, and like they're just better Guardians overall. Ra's good. He has a heal and he has high damage, and he has a snipe. There's just safer picks, people with escapes. He's speedy, but like you might as well pick Vulcan if you want a speedy character with an escape and it hits harder, and also has a snipe, right? Not the same concept, and not to say that Ra's bad, but yeah. Set, Kali, Baka, it's not that they're bad, it's just that there's better assassins out there. You know, they have low win rates, and like every time they're on my team, personally, it doesn't go so well. Yeah, I'm not gonna obviously cover everyone in this tier list. I could go on and say how like Baron's just a better Hades in every way, and like AGNI just doesn't hit as hard as he should until like super late into the game where it doesn't matter. Giannis can't really portal. Like Apollo, Heimdallr, and Artemis and Onher, they all hit really hard. and they're still viable. They're still really good. It's just that like they're just better hunters out there, you know. On-her pushes people away, which is not ideal. It's hard to stun people in arena. Artemis has no escape. Heimdallr has no escape. Otherwise, he would be up there in S tier for sure, maybe even top 5. And Apollo's ult is like whatever. It's not a good teamfight ult, but it's good for like finishing people off. But yeah, I'm gonna try to keep this video on the 10-minute mark, you know, maybe 11 minutes at most. So I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and learned something new. If I did help you guys out, make sure you subscribe. That would motivate me a lot to make more Smite videos and Smite content. I have been playing this game for a very long time, and I'm looking to expand and play other games. And I do already right now, but like, you know, maybe even make videos about other games. I'm looking at New World right now. Don't know how good it's gonna be though. You know, most MMOs end up disappointing eventually or go pay to win, but we'll see. I'm not gonna stop making Smite videos. I find it enjoyable, and I really like this game, so I prefer it over a top-down view MOBA any day, like clicking. It's just more interactive, like immersive. Playing in that third person, using WASD to strafe and everything, just feels better for me personally. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If this helped, share it with a friend, leave a comment, you know, all that good stuff.